Alright everybody, I'm back with another certified hood classic after 13 goddamn days. Daddy's back with the milk and cigarettes and he's only really here to eat cereal and smoke, and then he'll be right back out of your lives by the next week. How were these past 13 days for you? Did you do anything exciting? Did anything notable happen? I know for me, it ain't been shit but just me ballin', I'll tell you that for sure. And even just bringing up ballin', I ain't talking about Kobe Bryant, but instead, I'm talking about who Kobe Bryant is playing basketball with in the 7th layer of hell, which is FBG Duck. And there's also been other splashes of news as well in these past 2 weeks, including Charlie XCX giving white women another reason to feel like the main character, KSI giving me another reason to never trust the musical taste of a British person, and Ian threatening to drop more music. But for today's video, we gotta talk about integrity within the entertainment industry, which when I say that out loud, doesn't really make any sense. I mean, trying to find any sort of moral compass or integrity within the entertainment industry, nevertheless the music industry, is like trying to find a McDonald's with a working ice cream machine. But I bring this up because recently it's been in the news that the late Chicago drill rapper FBG Duck's mother has decided to file a lawsuit against Lil Durk in the estate of the late Chicago rapper King Von, alongside a couple of other music labels and executives for basically assisting in the death of FBG Duck. I mean, to give you this spark note, she's basically all like, these drill rappers greatly helped influence violence within the city for their own personal gain, and it led to the death of my son. Which, I mean, when you put it on paper like that, she's not exactly wrong, but at the same time, she's not the most justified person to be able to even say this or even make a lawsuit like this, if I'm being honest. Because I feel like if you know FBG Duck, or if you're just relatively familiar with the Chicago drill scene, especially when it was at its highest peak, you would know that anybody who managed to make a name for themselves within the Chicago rap scene also were partly responsible for its destructive community, including FBG Duck. So I guess if I wanted to summarize this video, I'd say it's everyone's faults, from the artists to the labels, but that wouldn't exactly make this video 8 minutes, so I gotta yap a little bit more. But even when you look beyond Chicago, and like, let's say you take New York drill for example, right? They were having the same issues until the genre just completely fell off a couple of years ago. Pop Smoke was the biggest name to come out of that entire era. And although he did pass away from non-drill related reasons, his influence still plays a part in some of the problems that still occur within the New York City rap scene today. I mean, you guys remember K-Flock, Sleepy Hallow, or Sheff G? Some of the biggest talents within the drill scene before 504 came through and got sent right back to the underground. And if there's one thing all three of these rappers have in common, it's the fact that they all were in trouble with the feds because they lived what they rapped about. I remember how big the K-Flock case was last year and how everybody on the internet tried to play armchair lawyer to try and prove his innocence. But when you really look back at it now, it all really makes sense to why the biggest names in drill just didn't really last very long in the limelight. Because, I mean, people tend to forget that drill isn't exactly just a genre, but it also is in relation to, doing something not very nice. It's just that the music execs have once again taken something and commodified it for the masses, so then we'll have artists like Central C and Ice Spice that'll come through and get that money machine rolling. But this all just goes back to the whole FBG Duck lawsuit thing, and really who's just to blame for it all, and who's really profiting off the entire thing, Do we blame the artists for their influence, although they are products of their environment, and that specific style of music was their only way to really get out of their situations? Or do we blame the labels and suits who have proven time and time again that they only really care about the bottom line, and they'll exploit any community, any sound, and any backstory if it means getting more streams and finding more talent from more impoverished communities to be able to lowball on shitty deals? And it's not even just that. Think about all the online personalities out there that like to talk about all this drill and gang shit as well, such as DJ Academics and Trap Lord Ross. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, these two have greatly profited off of the entire drill scene and gang drama that surrounds. I mean, the fact that some middle-aged bowling ball in a gaming chair and some British dude have managed to become the gateways for people to even get into this genre of music speaks just as loudly in terms of negative influences as it does for the artists. And with how I just described things, I think you can all probably guess who I'd be pointing the finger at right now. Isn't it funny how we are just once again shown another problem caused by capitalism? And don't worry guys, we're not going to go on some weird commie rant. I'm not a communist either, But what I will say is that when it comes to the music industry, although there's no specific person to blame when it comes to the influences and the negative consequences that are behind it, when you take a situation such as this lawsuit, it's pretty clear that the problem was stemmed from the system to the artist to the labels as well. And even when it comes to the victims such as FBG Duck, I mean, I hate to break it to you, Mama Duck, but he kind of did it to himself. He had just as much beef, just as much drama, and he was still staying in Chicago with a big ass target on his back. But since this lawsuit is talking about profiting off of one's death, I feel like she should at least be able to bring in DJ Academics or Traplow Ross, because I feel like those two are the most well-known cases of being a vulture towards the entire trap and drill scene. But that's just my thoughts on the situation, because I mean, at the end of the day, everyone can be blamed, but of course it all stems from the system itself, which in today's society, today's community, I think our justice system would rather not change the problem such as that, and would rather just keep putting people in jail and just be able to keep that whole for-profit prison system going. But at the same time, I hope Mama Duck can get something out of this, because I mean, hey, why not? You know, you already lost a son. The last thing you want to happen is for you just to be you know, losing everything financially as well, you know. But at the same time, Duck wasn't a saint either, so this lawsuit's going to be kind of a difficult and very tricky one for her to be able to win. But I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been another Certified Hood Classic. I'm hoping that the following week can be even better than the past two for you guys, as long as I'm hoping that for myself as well. I'm a little bit tired, that's for sure. I'm very hungry. I need to eat. And yeah, just thank you for being patient with me. It's been a very, very hectic past 2 months, and it's been a lot of work, and it's been stressing me out, and I've just not had the time to be able to do shit like this. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next Monday. Peace.
My grandpa isn't all there mentally, so please do be respectful during the party.
Squidward, you have my word.
Happy birthday,
It's a bomb!
Grandpa!
It's a bomb! I'm getting